and I heard you say something downstairs, and I was waiting for you to say it. I was waiting so long. It's like, you said that forever.
Like that 18 years ago. What's up, people? How's it going? Oh, man, hair and earphones just don't work well. Anyway, hope you guys had a happy Merry Christmas. It's probably why we'll have a pretty quiet stream today, because everybody's recovering from the holiday joys. What's up, Single Digit? How was the Xmas? And I instantly saw that after I drew in my Lady Ninja here, that he's not actually holding on to that foot. See? Look, what is he holding on to? Did he hurt his side? I swear, the things that you always see and then you gotta fix. Art's stupid. Let's see, I'm just stopping by to say what's up. I won't be staying long. Yeah, it was pretty chill. I stayed home. That's cool. You got a hot date? Is that what's going on? Or you just got a lot of work to do? Does it go here? Cover up. No, we need to cover up the... I don't know. That should be good. Right. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Alright, not too big a change. Just gotta fix up the inking to make Movie Night with Robin. Upload to the folder. I know. I was planning on doing that earlier and didn't, so, you know. I'm a genius. But I will upload. I will. Because I need to, right? Don't need to get penalized so close to the end of the year. By the way, I'm gonna try and convince TNT to join us. Just so you all can share in my misery of just how talented this young man is. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, I tell you. Too freaking good. He should join the fold. That's what I'm saying. But like I said, all he's gonna do is show us up. It's like today I don't know what's weird. Today I touched, glue, and I'm gonna make something with glue, and then it becomes awesome. Well, Bubba's fine. He's about to leave tomorrow. I would tell you could speak to him, but from what I hear, the grapevine, you were supposed to come by and say hi, and didn't. And Bubba's not the one to come and just talk on the side of the stream like TNT did, right? Because
Who was supposed to say hi to me?
Mr. Bakia, me.
Definitely should have come to say hi.
Me? When? I don't know. That's what the boss said. The boss said that you were supposed to come and see it. When did I make this promise? Like I said, you're talking to the wrong person, man. This is just the information I was given. You know how it is. I just work here. And Bo was like, you should have come. And you should have, but that's alright. I understand. He said hi.
Hi.
So. And the problem is, you know how you thought he was going to be G.I. Bro? You should see him. You should have seen him. He been doing them push-ups over there. I want to see how grown he is. He won't show you. You should have showed up. I'm going to tell you that right now. He is not. The fact that my parents actually got to see him was something, to write home about, even though they won't ever understand that. They were like, we family though. I'm like, yeah, but he doesn't want to be on screen. I'm sure someone took pictures. I'm pretty sure someone took pictures like his mother. who takes like 1 million pictures. So I mean, there is that, but just saying, you missed out. You could have confirmed your theories. I'm sure he's super excited about the fact that I'm talking about him while he's sitting in a room. He said, are you looking at it at all? Yeah, because he said, come on, Bubba, just pop on the camera for like a second.
If you cared, you would have come to see me.
Nope, see? The call out. Did you hear that? Did you hear what he said? I mean, spoke the truth. Spoke nothing but the truth. I heard it was like I heard him. I'm gonna remember this. Look, I don't know why my kids are so camera shy. Except for Butch.
Me.
Except for Butch. You can't keep that. Yeah, and I mean, baby kind of likes it too, but I mean, no. Butch is the #1 camera guy. Like, he wants to be on camera 24/7. Yeah, and baby, but see, I think she just likes to entertain. She like. Butch wants to be on camera. He wants people to notice him. Witness me. Sergeant Super Ghost. It's true. And he is like he will be on like in the room. He won't say a word. And then just disappear. Like, alright, I'm out. Like, wait, you were here? Like, yeah, I was, and now I'm not. Oh, no. Alright, so just realized drawing very big brushes don't work for me the way I want them to. You can hear Brownie even when he's upstairs. And that oh, bless his heart, he is in that stage where he doesn't stop talking. And it's just like, yes, just please, just a little bit, just stop talking. That's what I would need from you right now. Just a little bit. He's super cute. When he got, his gifts and stuff. It's very fun to watch the youth and their excitement. But as the youth goes, it fades almost instantly. And they're like, so, I saw this other thing in the store, or I was watching YouTube and I saw this and now I want this. And like, but you just got 1 million things. And you're like, yeah, that's nice. But I want something else now. I forgot to bring my people up. I'm so sorry. So what movie are you supposed to be watching? If you're still there, that is. It is kind of funny, and I wish I could have that kind of like, sometimes, that just conviction to be like, I know I just bought this, but I want to buy that now because it's different. Encanto, yeah, we're supposed to watch that with since it just came out on Disney Plus, right?
What came out?
Encanto. He said Encanto, so
what?
So forgive me. But yes, Encanto. So we're probably gonna watch that too. Although I think once things get a little bit back to normal, like I really do, despite what people are saying on the internet, I really do want to watch the new Matrix movie. So many people are like, it's not bad, it's not great. It's always sad when people, they just expect, like, did you not watch the last one? The last one was kind of garbage. You know, while I like the Matrix series, I really do. You know, you gotta call it. The third one was kind of crap. I mean, the first one was revolutionary just due to the fact of what it did. It wasn't necessarily like the story was so amazingly different or anything like that, but they did so much with their effects, and with that they were able to tell an interesting story. But come on. Matrix 4 is also a thing, but I have no desire to watch the movie. It's like you watching Snake. So in other words, you like the Matrix, like, because you know I like G.I. Joe. He likes the Predator. Do you like the Matrix, and then you are just appalled by the fact of what they're doing to it? I like the first. Yeah, you like the first movie. Yeah. The second one had its moments, right? But I think they were trying too hard. I don't know. I can't necessarily say that the second one sucked. The second one had its moments, but I think you could tell that they were trying too hard. You know, like they were trying really, really hard to keep that whole revolutionary, like, look at what we can do. And they filmed that, like, that freaking highway scene was amazing, right? Like that whole action scene was absolutely amazing. And I love the ghosts, the ghost virus, I guess, whatever. I thought that was such a cool idea. One scene can't save a movie. You're right. I didn't say that it was great. I didn't even say it was good. But I'm going, it's not, like, the third one was garbage. Like, that's all there was to it. That third one sucked. But the second one, it was giving you so much more information, right? That we didn't need, right? The Matrix should have stopped on 1 because it was amazing. It had a great ending. We could have come up with whatever we wanted, and that would have been it, right? Like, it just would have been a great movie to end on. And then what they should have done was what they did with, like, the Animatrix. Like, let's just tell different story ideas within the world of the Matrix. And I thought that was amazing. But alas, no one really asked me, so it doesn't really matter. Right. I agree. The third one was the best one. Enrique, I swear to goodness, you have got to stop liking the third ones. Like, stop. The third Matrix movie was garbage. It was absolutely garbage. And it's sad because I had high hopes because, you know, the first one, we were rising and I'm like, all right. And the second one was that, like, boring climb to the end and the crescendo and climax of the movie, and we're like, all right, it's dragging a little bit, it's not that good, it's giving us a little bit of information, it's like, all right, cool. And I'm like, well, the third one's got to give us all the payoff, and it didn't. At all. It dropped us like a bad habit. It was so bad. It was so bad. The third Matrix movie is the first and only movie I ever paid for and walked out of. Wow. We got but I didn't need a DBZ fight in the Matrix. I could care less about them flying around and, you know, Superman fly punching and stuff like that. It was dumb. That was dumb. And they just didn't need it. And I have to agree with with Makia on this one that 2 and 3 were trying too hard. And I think after the second one, and it didn't get the acclaim that it was really hoping for with all the new kind of inventions and stuff that they were going for, and then they're like, we got to try extra hard on the third one to try and round it out, and it just did not work. But the story, right, like the story that I have continuously in my head of the Matrix is something that I'm intrigued by. And the trailers have made it seem as though Neo is trapped within the Matrix, right? But in the third one, we were led to believe that he died. So I'm really curious. Like, it's a curiosity thing for me. Like, what is it gonna be? Like, what are they trying to tell us? What's the story that's gonna happen? Or are they just retelling the Matrix again, right? Because even Trinity died, and yet she's still in it, and I'm like, what story, like, what are they trying to tell with the Matrix? Are they just trying to rekindle it and then pass it off to other people? Are they gonna, close out are they gonna actually close it out and be like, all right, we are now officially done with the Matrix? Like, what is going on? Like, that's what I want to know, right? And like I said, it's one of those curiosity things, and sometimes curiosity is a bad thing because you get roped into something going, oh, this could be really fun, like this might actually be the answer to some of the questions that I had, that were left unanswered, and then you still get poop all the way around. So, but since I think it's still free on HBO Max, so I need to go and just need to go and watch it sometime this coming week. So, oh, I finally watched all of He-Man. It was all a dream. I bet you don't put that out in the universe. Don't make it all a dream like he had just one bad trip after he went to the club that one day. Don't do that. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody. You know that that Morpheus was supposed to be Will Smith? And while I appreciate a lot of Will Smith's work, I don't think he would have done as good as Lawrence Fishburne. Encanto, yeah, it's on our list to watch while the kids are still off from school. So we're probably gonna watch it probably tomorrow, something like that. So we'll probably watch that tomorrow. Cause Tyler, you want to watch it, right?
Yeah.
So, is it sad?
Is it sad?
Yeah, no. I'm asking Enrique. Enrique, is it sad? I have a very emotional child. My son's about to leave back to Japan, and my little kids are dealing with the fact that they're about to, lose their brother again. I can't watch. We can't have a movie where it's sad. And you got to think of little kids, not your old, but little kids. They're gonna watch it and be like, "Oh no, this person died. Why are they dead? Oh no, everyone's sad." Like, I can't. I need to know, so I know how long I have to wait to watch the movie. Because while everyone feels bad about it, there's only a very few people who have to deal with that. It's not sad, but it's definitely emotional. I mean,
I saw the one where it's like, rats.
Yeah, I keep seeing the rat guy. And then I also keep seeing how they put all the pressure on the sister who holds the donkeys.
Not donkey pressure.
I saw the song with a really, really buff woman,
Yeah.
and that song seemed amazing. I was like, yes, what is this all about?
I know, I want to watch the movie
we're gonna watch it. I will deal with the emotional turmoil.
I would say we probably shouldn't watch it tomorrow though.
But
To-
I want to.
Tomorrow might be a bit much.
Tomorrow might be a bit extra hard.
Yeah. And I'm starting to get sick and tired. They keep making these kids shows being all super emotional. They keep making these movies for adults, and I'm like, can we have a happy one?
No happy.
Not a oh, it works out in the end, but can we have a happy one? Have you not seen any character designs?
Happiness does not pay the bills.
I guess buff woman. It's in the poster. Like, I didn't tell you anything. It's in the freaking poster.
The buff lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's on there. I don't know her name.
I seen nothing. You haven't seen a poster yet? I understand not watching a trailer, but come on now. You had to have seen an image, like the image. That would be quite amazing, I'd have to say. Because, nope, really? That's impressive. I'm like, really? That's impressive. Somehow I don't. It's just like me saying, oh, I'm avoiding White Christmas, and I somehow managed that to happen. It's like, that's not gonna work. You gotta have those emotional hooks. No! Why can't we just have a happy show?
Yes, she does. Just like I said. Happiness
Come on, just one very nice.
you should write it.
I can't because I'm German and black, so that's just not gonna work.
But you have to. And then you have to pitch it to Disney. And Disney will be like, wow.
I don't-
So smart. And then
I don't even think they'd accept. I don't even think they would accept that. They're like, what? Aren't you black? Yes, and German. Oh, really? You can't write happy
why can black people not write happy?
because of all the things that happened to us.
Okay.
And we're always angry, and I may have been, stopped by the police for just walking by.
That's so annoying.
It is annoying.
Luckily, it won't happen to me.
Oh, sure, of course.
Language,
Sure, if you say so.
it won't happen.
I guess if you never walk across the street.
Honestly, but nothing's cool.
Okay. You keep thinking
I know
that.
everything on every topic.
Sure. Let's see. But that's a good point. I never thought about it. A lot of modern cartoons have it. Yeah, they do. Human tears for their grand plans of world domination. I could see that. Like they somehow their overlord death machine is powered by the tears of humanity. I could see that. That's why they keep making all these movies. A consequence of the good stuff like I know. Wait.
What?
You. What? Okay. Before I get upset, which avatar are you talking about? I'm hoping it's
Is it the blue avatar?
I want it to be the cartoon because the cartoon was good. But
Blue avatar.
but no, I know it's like but knowing Enrique, he's gonna say something that I'm not gonna approve of. His Blue Cat People was stupid.
I never watched it.
Some people say that it was a Marvel, and I'm like, oh, I'm sure it is. When you rip off, Dances with Wolves and Fern Gully with technology, of course it's gonna be good. Blue people are, ugh, what cartoon? You know what? Here's the thing. You are currently lucky that you live where you live. I'm not trying to give out any specifics on people, but if they weren't one of the largest hotspots for COVID, I'd come down there and kick your butt. For making horrible statements like that.
No, I never watched like
He's perfect for our Saturday night. He would be. Looking forward to the 6 sequels. I think Enrique would be great for our Saturday night movies. Hey Enrique, we watch movies on Saturdays. Hernandez and Vakia and myself, and we watch movies on Saturday. And it's hilarious sometimes. The garbage that comes across the TV screen. We watched, and I kid you not, John Morrison's Sinbad. That movie is so bad. Oh my goodness, that movie sucked so bad. But we would love to have you. Chopping Mall and Solar Babies. It was also so horrible. Chopping Mall was so. It wasn't even like fun bad. Chopping Mall was horrible. It's no. You know what? Wait. This requires something else. Hold on. No. And here's why. Only recently did you come out of hiding. So don't act like we have some secret club. No. You were. I'm not gonna call you a hermit because I know you were dealing with like new family stuff and work and all that things, and you know, being a hotspot for COVID. I get it. But no, no sir, nuh-uh. So to that on full screen. A full screen call out. You should shut up and come watch Solar Babies with us. Some of those movies, so bad. I don't know if we're gonna be doing this Saturday because it's New Year's. So I don't know if that's the case, but it might be. 90% is garbage because of the stipulations, right? And it's like, hey, you're gonna pick this movie from this list of garbage, you know, and you're like, all right, oh man, why are we doing this? And that's the way it rolls. So just saying, you should join us. See, now he's ghosted us. I don't need to listen to this. How dare you call me out in full screen? I'm out of here. That's what you would do. Like, no, I ain't dealing with this. Just clowning and laughing. This is true. I think it's always a good time. Especially when movies are there just to like aggravate. It seems like it's like just to aggravate the person who gave the stipulation, unless of course the stipulation really lends itself to like the person who's getting the stipulation, because then it's like, oh, we're gonna watch those. I don't even have to wait. We're gonna watch this. And you're like, I'm so worried. I'm like, you should be, because this is gonna be really bad. Just like when that mistake was made, and you're like, hey, we're gonna watch Ninja 3: The Domination. It's like, yes, we are. Movie, by the way, I still love, and I don't care what you say, Vikia. I love that movie. Good, bad, or indifferent. That movie was hot garbage. Look, like I said, it doesn't matter what you say. I mean, I'm not fighting you on the validity of if it is hot garbage or not, because that movie is a mess. The movie's a mess, but it was a movie It was. How dare you? But that movie is what got me hooked on ninjas, right? Because that was a movie I watched with my dad. Like, that was the first one. And as a child, I mean, what the heck did I know? I just knew that it had ninjas, and he was amazing, and he couldn't die. And then there was another ninja who was gonna try and kill him, but he couldn't because he possessed a woman who became a death ninja. Who they had to exorcise some freaking ninja's ghost out of a woman to put it back in the dead body. The dead body, which they didn't do anything with. They just kept him on ice. Oh, it was great. It was so stupid. And yes, they did have the Asiatic police department in San Diego, where the movie was filmed in freaking Arizona. and most of those people, most of the people who were in that movie, they were the actual police. They weren't actors. It was an actual police department. The movie is called Ninja 3: The Domination. Absolutely amazingly horrible movie. If I wasn't streaming to YouTube, I'd show you. Because it opens up, the movie's great. It opens up with this guy climbing a giant, like, mountain, goes into some slit in the mountain, and then there's this big rock that he pushes the top of the rock, and it opens up to a glowing light box of weapons. And somehow he puts like 70 weapons on his body, and then the next thing we see is a golf course, and he murders everyone on the golf course for no reason. And then there's literally a throwaway line. There is a 1 and 2. That's because there is the 1 and 2. The directors of that, they did what was supposed to be the first one? I think it was like Revenge of the Ninja, and then Death of a Ninja or something like that. And then they just said Ninja 3: The Domination because it was the third ninja movie that they made. What was it? Globus, and I forgot what the other brother's name was. It was Canon Films, pretty much. But yeah, they made 2 ninja movies previously, and then they're like, here's this third ninja movie, we will call it Ninja 3: The Domination. It's amazing. It's so bad. So bad. The first 2 were... So those 2 movies, which had nothing to do with Ninja 3: The Domination, they had more of a story, right? That made sense within the story. It wasn't all, you know, ninja possessions and stuff like that. So, I mean, you take that with a grain of salt all you want. None of them are in the same world, or no, they have literally nothing to do with each other. Nothing. Even though Sho Kosugi is in it, I think he's in all of them, if I'm not mistaken. He's literally in all of them, and he plays someone different in each one. Oh, by the way, something else you have to know. Something else you need to know is that in Ninja 3 The Domination, there is a moment where the main evil ninja is surrounded by police officers and they are gunning him down with semi-automatics, shotguns, revolvers, 45s, just in a circle, and they shoot him, I don't know, what would you say, 100 times, and he doesn't die. He doesn't die at that point. He dies a little later because of exhaustion. The main character's apartment. That's true. They can't even deny that it's true. The apartment was literally the storage unit for every other movie, and they just kept everything there. And they're like, oh, you know what? We'll put all of this into one scene and call it something. But yeah, that's good stuff. Straight up fun. I had a good time. I don't care. I had a good time. But it was amazingly bad. Oh, I think you said something about He-Man and I missed it because we kind of moved on. So what did you think of the scene when He-Man did the He-Man things? I thought it was great. Like, I liked it. I really did. And yes, the lack of He-Man theme song at that moment, like, there was the moment, and yet they did not give us the He-Man theme song, which was kind of sad. And you know, it needed this song. It was it was perfect for that song. And they didn't give it to us any other time, so it would have been like, oh, this is perfect. Like, this is literally perfect. Nope, not at all. I'm like, come on. And then I did not like the super design of Evelyn. Hey, Miss Ebony, Merry Christmas, season's greetings, all that kind of good stuff. I did not like Super Evelyn's design when she became like the sorceress. I was hoping for something different. It didn't work for me. But I liked the super one. When she became the sorceress, right? When Skeletor trapped her to be the sorceress and whatnot, and she had the bat, the whole bat thing. I was like, that's a cool design. Like, I like that. But the other one, I like Teela's, super design. I thought that was cool. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. Orko. Orko was awesome. Although, I don't know, is anyone in here who has not seen He-Man? Because there's something I gotta ask. Anyone who has not seen He-Man who's like, I want to see He-Man? Because if that's the case, like, I'll talk to Nakia later. But there's a specific thing that kind of threw me. And I don't want to... I saw He-Man's, yeah, okay. The Revelation, wait, was it Revelation? Is that what it's called? The one from Kevin Smith. Yeah, showrunner. No. It's Revelations, isn't it? Something like that. He-Man, yeah, Revelations. What's up, Mandala? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is you might be celebrating. You can spoil stuff. Key, are you there? I only saw up to where you make us say, "Oh my goodness, you have not watched it then." All right, I won't talk about it then. You gotta watch the second part, the second half. Until we get to do it again. I can leave. No. You don't need to leave. Enrique hasn't seen it either. So it's not that serious. There's just one part in the movie where I was just like, how? That's it. So I want to see if I'm the one going crazy or if that was just weird to anyone else. Soma 70, did you get all your boxes? You get all your supplies? You ready to hit 2022 with gusto in the art world? When I went to, it was super busy around the other Christmas times. When I wish the malls would just go away. Well, yeah, now everyone's gotta return their stuff. You know, they gotta return the gifts that they couldn't stand. And they're like, oh yeah, Grandpa gave me this sweater, and it's garbage, and I hate it. You haven't seen any He-Man yet? The Revelations, I liked it. I liked the Revelations one. I haven't seen the other one, the more kid 3D one. I haven't seen that one yet. I hear it's alright too. He-Man's was a fun show. It was. I remember never liking the original He-Man. Yeah, I liked the original He-Man. I liked the original He-Man. He-Man really formed a lot of what I do for like world building and stuff like that. The reason why I like He-Man is because everything was possible. Right? They had sword, they had sorcery, but then they also had technology, and they started mixing some of it together and stuff like that. So if you follow my work, especially if you knew anything about the card game and the world that I developed for that, you'll see a lot of strong ties to He-Man. That, and I really liked Galaxy Rangers. I don't know if you guys remember that show. I like Galaxy Rangers because the world, man, if I could, I would love to get my hands on like some of the concept stuff from that show. My goodness. I think Galaxy Rangers was one of those ones that was really underrated. Like, people they didn't know. And they also didn't know how to handle it. That show was great. So much going on. Never warmed up to the original Thundercats too. See, I like the original Thundercats because Panthro was a black ninja, so you know what I mean? I'm like, so of course I liked it, right? I have the entire series, and looking back on it, but it was a cartoon in the 80s. I'm like, meh. There was no cartoon I got into where I really loved the lore. Oh, really? I see. I didn't get in. What's funny is, like, I didn't get into the lore of He-Man. I was definitely more stuck in the world that they were building, like visually. Like, if you started asking me about the histories and stuff like that, I couldn't tell you anything, right? Nothing. But the designs and stuff like that, and the overarching story, I'm like, oh yeah, this was cool and that was cool. But I did. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch Galaxy Rangers though, because I think that it was ahead of its time. Because there was so much, and there was a lot of political stuff that was going on in there, and it was just like, whoa, this is deep. This is deep. Maybe the closest would be either Transformers or Robotech. Okay. I'm trying to remember which memories were Galaxy Rangers and which one was the Silverhawks. They are definitely different. So Galaxy Rangers was not Thundercats in space. That's what it was like. That's what Silverhawks was. It was done by the same team and everything too. So wish I could stay longer, but I gotta run. Might be back before stream's over. All right. Have fun watching your movie. I knew that if you loved He-Man, you would love pro wrestling opera. I do. It's like, I do. The problem is that the Mopra that I used to watch was all about characters, right? They're all characters. The wrestling stuff that's going on now, it's all stupid because they're all just people. Like, oh, this is Brian Tillman and he's wrestling and he's angry with, you know, Billy Bob because he said something about his woman, and it's just people fighting. There's no real story. There's no characters going on. It's just I'm a big dude who's beefing with you. Yeah. But back in the day when you had stupid people, you know, stupid character names like the Repo Man or Hillbilly Jim or, you know, Coco Beware or the Red Rooster, you know, they were all characters. And so you could get into a character. I mean, hell, Sergeant Slaughter became a G.I. Joe. You know what I mean? Like, they were all characters. Now it's just, they're all people. And so it's boring and weird because who cares? Right? Like, no one actually will believe that little itty bitty Rey Mysterio is going to do anything to, you know, the big guys. Like, I appreciate that he's fast and he's been there and all that, but if the Big Show hit him, he would implode or explode, whatever. But when they're like, oh, he's fast, he might be able to, no, he won't. No, he won't. I don't care what you say. No, he won't. Like, he's dead. That's it. You know, like, no, he's going to die. So, I don't know. I think, you know, that's why I really was kind of like, I was into AEW because they have characters, right? So the new wrestling regime, that like they're characters, and while some of them are just people, right, and you can see that, but they're in some type of character arc, right? I mean, for crying out loud, there's a guy who's, you know, apparently possessing people, right? Sort of. It's just, I don't know, there's fun characters, and even if they are just human people, they're still pretty fun. So just an update for you guys, as far as when we're gonna start working on the comic, because I was looking at the script, rewriting the script a little bit, and I am up to page 36. Is it 36? 36. And my plan is to try and finish out the first arc in 40. Not arc, but the first story that I'm telling within 40 pages. So we will be. We're going to be working on this comic soon. It's coming. Just in case any of you were concerned. And I'm saving that for the new year. I figured we just continue to do some character design, since that was kind of what was asked for. So, but yeah. Do you have a full script? Do you always do full script? I mean, I try. But I mean, my script is, so I do my script with my thumbnails because I'll have an idea of how I want the story to progress, and so I pretty much script page by page, which I guess everyone does. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, here's page 1, here's page 2, here's page 3. But I'm thumbnailing the script as it's being written, right? So it's just like drawing this. I did thumbnails, let me put the script in it. And sometimes it's the other way around. Like I'll do the page script and then I'll thumbnail it. But it's all very organic. Like it's not, here's my script and then here's my thumbnails and then here it is together. Like it's working together. And I have pages where I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna work, and then I'll write the next page and then come back to the page previously and change that, because it's like, nope, this will not flow into here. Or because I've never really put together a 40-page script. It's always been like 22, 24-page scripts. So this is a little bit longer. And then I realized that as I'm going, I'll get to a point and be like, okay, how do I move this forward? And then it's linked into what was said. And, you know, like, for instance, on page 35, it says we need allies, right? And so then the next page, we highlight one of the newer characters. Because this one's a lot of, like, introducing characters, showing what they can do and stuff like that, and still moving the story forward. So then it would be like, you know, I can't defend this line forever, we're gonna need allies, right? And then the next page we start showing that person. And that came about because I was like, I don't know what to write here, I need to get to this person. Let's go back. So, but it's definitely very organic in that sense. So, and to be honest, I know for a fact, like, I'll be drawing and then go, I need to change something. And so I don't hold on to the script, and that's why it's really hard for me, because Hernandez was like, hey, because I love how he does my characters. It puts them in action and everything. Like, absolutely love it. And we work really well together, so it would be really cool to do this kind of thing together. But this is, I have to say, like, this is my baby. Like, right, the main story is going to be mine. I would love to be able to get other people to do comics, like one-shots and stuff like that. Pay them, would love to do it. 100% would love it. But he was like, yeah, man, just, you know, if you're going to pay, that'd be great, because, you know, then I can put it on my schedule. I'm like, that's cool. Just get me a script. My scripts are never that formal, right? Like, I don't think I could really give someone my ideas of the script, like, here you go, because it just wouldn't work out. Like, I don't know, like, I'm worried about giving him a script because I don't know if it will make sense. Like, it makes sense to me because I know I'm the one who's going to be drawing it, but outside of that, it's just like, would anyone else really understand it? And then, of course, I'll do something like, this is in this space right here, you need to do, you know, think of 1970s action fight and put that in these 2 pages. Like, that will be the description for the page. Because I'm like, I know what I would do here, but I don't want to be like, panel 1, he throws a punch. Panel 2, he does this. Like, I think that's what takes away from the spontaneity and creativity of what could be, right? Is when the writer gives too much information instead of going, I want you to draw epic fight scene here. Like, so I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I definitely see myself giving a script to him, because I would love to have his, off of all the freaking characters that I've designed, it'd be really cool to see what story he would want, and then to be able to give him like a looser or just a script. I don't know. Maybe work together as a collaborative like writer-artist thing at the beginning. So, I don't know. The guy that writes Amulet does it like that. Oh, really? My son loves Amulet. Absolutely loves Amulet. Examples of successful spontaneous improvised stories are there? Shonen Jump manga is done that way? Huh. I think the issue is that there's so many people who consider what they do like the absolute best. Like, because I've worked with writers who are like, like I would change the script because they would say something, it's like, okay, this needs to happen. I'm like, well, what you're asking for is too much. You've got 7 actions in one panel, and that's not going to work. So I changed it to make it make sense within the page that you have written. And they're like, how dare you change my work? And I'm like, well, your work was not going to work. So, instead of waiting for your response to be like, oh, you got to do this, or let me rewrite the script, which is also something I've had, because I would talk to the artist or to the writer and be like, look, this doesn't make sense because of this, that, and the other thing. And they're like, all right, well, let me rewrite the page. And I'm like, what? No. Let's not rewrite the page because I'm on a deadline. Like, come on now, you can't, don't do that. Don't do me dirty like that. But, tis what it is sometimes. But I think if I was to do, because I would consider them collaborations, right? Like, I would get artists that I'd want to work with and then be like, all right, here's what I'm thinking, right? What do you think about this? How would you do this page? And then kind of work collaboratively together versus going, here's a script, draw my script. Like, I don't know. That would not work for me. It never has, and it probably never will. For me, and the main reason why I stuck around in teaching even after getting offers to come work for people, I was like, you know what? I want to keep the who I work for to a minimum, because I know that there's just stuff that I want to do. If that makes sense, right? Like, people are like, you should, why are you not working for Marvel or anything? I've seen you do these things with them, so why don't you actually do a book with them or something like that? And I'm like, because if I'm going to tell, if I was going to do an X-Men story, I want to do my X-Men story. If I have to dedicate all this time to a certain character, I would like it to be my story. Not saying that anyone else's story is bad, but that's where I'm at. Like, I just don't want to. It's like, I don't want to do your script. I know that's bad of me, especially as a teacher. They're like, but I think in this day and age, right, in the year 2021, what's left of it, it's so easy. It's not easy. You have more opportunities to do your own thing, and you just should, and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. If it works, great. If it doesn't, whatever. right? And then if you do put in the time for some things, and you're like, I put in a lot of time on this, and this is great, like I believe it's great. Some people might, you can go get it funded, right? Like, you don't even have to, in theory, you don't even have to throw out your own money. You could do a Kickstarter, do a GoFundMe, something like that, right? And you can get funding without having to ever really put your own money forward. And how often has that happened? In the past, like how often is it that you can actually have the opportunity to do whatever the heck you want and it not cost you any money? So that's why I'm constantly telling my students, I'm like, look, just do it. Like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I'm like, well, don't let the audience decide, because they're not posting on social media and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't think I'm good enough. I'm gonna keep practicing until I'm like, if that's your mentality, you're never gonna be good enough. And that's a problem, because there's so much, there's so many people out there who will love your work. Plain and simple. They're gonna love your work. And it's like, come on, let's not be dumb about this. But the artist mindset doesn't normally allow for that, right? I gotta be good enough, and which I completely understand. I do. But at some point you need to save. Not a digital artist, so I keep forgetting that I need to do that. But at some point, you have to just be like, I'm gonna get it out there. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out there. Because if you don't, someone else will, right? Because what's always killing me is how a lot of my students are worried about copyright. Like, oh my goodness, I don't want to put it out there because copyright. And like, I can tell you without any hesitation that if you've already thought of it, so has someone else, right? And now it's really just about who's going to get it out faster. So if you and both of you can still have or own the limelight for that story, but I'm going, if you establish yourself early, right? If you're like, hey, look, I've been creating characters and worlds and all that kind of good stuff for 4 years while I was in school and all that kind of good stuff, then you'll develop a following. And even if they're like, hey, this reminds me of this, you're like, yeah, I know, that's kind of had a similar idea, but mine's a little bit different because of these reasons, right? People will already know, and that's the important part. Got to get out there and throw those ideas out there, because if not, someone else is going to. And you never, ever, ever want to be the person who just like, especially if you're like, right, now I'm good, I think I'm good enough, I have an idea, life is great, this is gonna be good, and then you become the person who copied someone else. Especially like, you're ready to drop all of this glorious information and art and all that stuff, and then someone did it a week before you did. Then you're just like, hey man, that reminds me a lot of this, and you're like, oh yeah. Okay. It's just a pretty exciting time indeed. Getting to the audience you're aiming for seems to be the biggest obstacle outside of actually completing. You're right. You're absolutely right. And the problem is that your audience is out there. You just gotta know. You just gotta try and find them, and that is the biggest hurdle that you will probably face as a creative, or anything else for that matter, is finding your audience, finding where they are and stuff like that. And that's why there are jobs just for those people. Like they're going, oh, okay, so you do this, all right, give me a month and something like that, and we'll put together a strategy, meaning I'm gonna find out where your people are. Because so many people, they think that, oh well, I'm posting to Instagram, that's enough. And it's like, it's not enough. You got to know where to post to Instagram. Like when to post on Instagram, who should you be tagging, what should be, you know, there's so much that goes into it. And that's why there's entire degrees now of social media marketing. Stuff like that. So, not the ones from Chili's. Sorry. What? What are you whining about? Huh? What are you whining about? Get some other chips. What? I mean, if that's what you want, but it's kind of late. I don't know why you would always wait until like 15 minutes before you're supposed to go to bed and be like, I want to eat stuff. Well, you should eat beforehand, weirdo. So Mandala, are you still in crunch time? Or did the, you know, the holiday break kind of give you an actual holiday break? So in crunch time, they installed the game and played it. Oh, that isn't called Overwatch. I know that once I get back into school, which is actually happening in January, there's a game that I have had on my Switch for the longest time, which is hilarious because my wife bought me a Switch, and this was when I was still hilariously far away from things, and I was like, what do I need a Switch for, you know, like and when I was away, you know, it was really therapeutic to be like, all right, I'm gonna play Guilty Gear, and I'm just gonna beat stuff up, right? So, all right, thanks for hanging out. It's fun. Thank you. Hope you have a good rest. You know, say hi to the kids, and if I don't see you before, if I don't, you know, hear from you in the new year, have a happy new year, man. But as I was saying, like I have this ninja game that was recommended to me by Skipperwing, and I've had it for a very long time, and I just never played it. And I was telling myself, because I'm, you know, well, like I said, I was in a bad spot, right? So I kept telling myself, I'm like, well, if I start this game, because it's a ninja game, right? And it seems awesome, but I was like, all right, if I start this, I'm not gonna get any work done ever, because all I'm gonna want to do is play this game. Because I kept telling myself I have no self-control, which was very interesting, a very, very weird time in my life. But I'm like, nope, you gotta stay on top of these things, because it's like, this is what you're trying to get into. So if you don't know what the heck you're trying to do, then, you know, if you don't know the industry, you don't know what people are looking at and stuff like that, then you're screwed. And that's exactly what happened, right? So I'm looking forward, but I'm like, I don't want to do it at the house. Like, I'm not going to play this game at the house. I'm going to always take my Switch with me when I go to work. And then when I'm, you know, in between classes and stuff like that, that's when we'll play it. What's up, AG? You know, happy holidays, Merry Christmas if that's what you celebrate. If not, happy holidays. Oh, Mandala, what's the weather like out there in your neck of the woods? Chillaxing out on all the X-Men. Xmas carbs. You have a Switch? I do. I need to change that because he doesn't. We worked out his size. He doesn't seem very tall. He's just very wide. It's cold, sub 60s and dry. Oh, we're supposed to be getting dry. Oh, just a Wii U. We had that too. We had in the house. We had a Wii U, and then we dropped it, right? And we got the Wii, then we got the Wii U, and then we switched to the Switch, which is a huge time dump. They can take away from me. It can. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna keep it. It's like pretty much like I'm gonna keep it to working at school, because I'm like, if I do it at home, then it's. It is definitely going to take away from what I need, right? Because I need to be able to do work. Like that is something, especially with Comic coming. I gotta try and figure out a good setup so that I can read the chat. Like that's a big thing for me right now. It's trying to see how I'm gonna do the chat. We might actually be switching up how I do my multi-streaming. Might be doing we might be going back to Restream because apparently they're doing a lot to be really user friendly again. So, and the big thing that I kind of threw out because they're like, we're gonna charge you. I'm like, but you're free, right? And they were free, and they still are free. But what I realized was I wasn't streaming at HD because that's what they did. That's how they kept it free. If you wanted to stream HD, you had to pay them. And I was like, nope. And then I went off and did Streamlabs, like their service for multi-streaming. And I was like, this will be great. And it just started off with, you have to pay. And I'm like, I thought that the benefits that they kind of had, they're like, oh, you can do the merch store, and you can do this, and you can do that. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I never used it, so. And the Battle Royale has begun! It has begun. In card and board games and video games. Oh, that's cool. Oh man, I'm gone quick. Goodness. Thunder Key's trying to take it. Thunder Key's trying to take it for the win. Man. Came in and just took over. It was just like, got this. I got beat up so bad. So fast. Down, you know what? Can't forget. Still very rigged. 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 So I still think I need to. That's her. Okay. I need. He just doesn't. He seems too squat for me. I'm gonna try something. I think I like him taller. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Which means we're gonna take all of this. Oh, we're just gonna move it up. Yeah. Alright, get off of that. But I don't know why that is not up here. So what is your convention reference schedule first third of the year? So I have the heck is it called? Fairpoint in February 25th to 27th. I'll be in doing Fairpoint Comic Con. I will be at Planet Comic Con in April. And there is Annapolis Comic Con in March. So that would be the first, 4 months. That's pretty much it. Like, I haven't really stuffed in a lot of conventions. Now I really just want to the one I'm going to one that I'm not used to, which is Planet Comic Con. So that one seems to be a pretty big one. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But yeah. So Farpoint. You're right. Farpoint. I've always called it Fairpoint. That's bad. I've always called that convention Fairpoint. I'll actually be speaking there, so that should be fun. MadFest badge. See, I was told MagFest was invite only, so I couldn't even get into it if I wanted to, as far as being a vendor. They're like, sorry, no can do. I'm like, that's fair. What are you gonna do? Can't fight that. Alright, time to what? We're not going to do that yet. We're going to come in and we're going to do the symmetry tool. We're going to do this, and then we're going to rotate this bad boy. It's not that big, but we'll rotate it. That's not too terrible. So bad. I'm trying to get to that point. Yeah, I don't know why I was like Fairpoint. That's where we're always. Bam. Try that. But yeah, so like I said, I'll be doing that one. That's the first time I'm going to that one too. So my plan is to also be able to do MegaCon, right? MegaCon's a big one for me. MegaCon. I want to do Otakon again now that I know what they're looking for, like how their presentation is supposed to go, because I was not ready. Like I had nothing prepared for that. So I mean, I had all my stuff, but the way they present their stuff in Otakon is completely different than any Comic-Con I've ever been to. So, you know, there's that, and I want to make sure that I have a fair shot this time. So I want to do that one. Show the ones that I want to do. How would you describe for a convention? It's a sci-fi, anime, pop culture, or comic books. Sci-fi mostly. They have comics there, but it's sci-fi. Sci-fi, yeah. That's what we would call not straight. Okay. Yeah, the MagFest vendor list was right either. Was invite only. This year. So, because I was told, like, you need to do MagFest, and I'm like, yeah, but MagFest is 24/7, and no. I was like, MagFest is 24/7, so no. Most of it, I mean, I have to be honest, I looked at some of the panels, and they've got panels for writers, they've got panels for artists, they've got panels for cosplayers, and there was something else. They had a panel for a film. But a lot of it is dealing with science fiction. Like, I think that's their thing. Why is that so crooked? See, it's crooked. Look at that. It doesn't even line up. There we go. Same for panels in MagFest? I don't know. Like I said, I tried to get into MagFest once, and you know, it was like, hey, this person's not coming, you can take their badge, and then there was a huge snafu, like they're like, we don't do that, you know, it's got to come through this and that, and so I didn't get the panel anyway. It was weird. But I'm waiting to hear back from San Diego, though, because they're like, hey, you need to fill this stuff out. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll fill it out. So waiting to hear back from San Diego, see if we're going this year, and if they're going to comp the stuff and all that kind of good stuff. I don't know. We'll see what happens. To hold meetup panel. Guess we'll be the audience. That's cool. How long we will? An hour and a half. I'm going to run my ad. Thanks for being with me. It's time for some faux sense, y'all. Gotta try and make that money. Faux sense. Faux. Gotta try and make that money. It's crooked. But that would be cool. Having a meetup like that. Especially if they're like, you know, if you can get like fans, you know what I mean? Like you've been posting your work and life is all good. That kind of thing. It'd be great. It's kind of like a meet and greet. That'd be awesome. Oh no, that's crooked! Symmetry tool is kinda good until it starts making stuff crooked. Probably as least crooked as possible, so we're gonna run with that. Bam skis. How's everyone's 25th? Pretty easy. If I can say so myself, I'm like, it's pretty easy. Not even gonna lie. I'm pretty relaxed. I think that's necessary sometimes. You know, a little relaxation going. Alright, then we're gonna come here. And we're gonna need just a little bit. Oh. It's so close. New layer. We'll make this work our way. Oh, no, I made it work. It was like, oh no, wait, look, I made it work. Didn't need to do a new layer. Alright, and then from there, that's that. I think we can get rid of the symmetry tool now and try and make this work. So we got that. Eventually, we're gonna come back and start drawing our loyal ninja family. I was okay to spend time with family. Oh yeah, that's cool. Like I said, well, let's put it like this: our family is nowhere close to us, so it's just us today. Or I mean, on the 25th, and we pretty much just stayed at home. Order Chinese because it's like, we don't want to cook. We're going to cook, and then we were not going to cook. So, like I said, we ordered Chinese. Very stable. Germany's pretty far. Yeah, just a little bit. It's almost perfect. I picked it up. Nice. Like, hey, you cook. I'm gonna pick it up. Like, nice. Sounds like a super plan, actually. Oh. No, that's not supposed to be there. There we go. Oh, nice. That's nice. I mean, it's always nice to get a little surprise, you know? We're like, haha, come get some food. You're like, alright, yeah. It's like, sure. Round that out just a little bit. Too many stupid details. AG, did you do any work on your book? You're getting super close. Oh, snap. Are you antsy about how close you are? I think I would be. Oh. My two granddaughters. I'm like, oh. Not ramen. Not, no. It's like, no, not ramen. It's like, no, not ramen. Like that's just no, not ramen, no. Oh, what's that? Big old sword. Giving me the runaround. That's what we're here for. Yeah, perspective is evil. Like perspective is evil. That's why I try and always do stuff in the in like the forest. And it's like, you know what? Forest time. Don't need any perspective. Oops. I don't foresee you taking another year to do it. That's the thing. think it's gonna be great. I think you can do it. Right? So problem is, once you get it done, there's one thing that I've noticed, right? There's not really a there's not really a weight that you get, because people are gonna be like, I want more, I need more, give me another one, do it now. And you're just like, but I just finished. And they're like, I was so good, I need more. So that's the hard part. That's what I've realized, is like, once you've actually done something, you're like, heck yeah, you know, this is gonna be great. And then you finish, you're like, yes, I finished. Life is so good right now. And then everyone's like, oh, where's the next one? You're like, what do you mean? Do you have the next one planned? It's like, no. It just, look, this one just came off the press. Like, should be working on issue 2 already. Should be working on issue, chapter 7. Like, dude, like, what is happening right now? But I mean, I guess it's a good problem to have. You know what I mean? When you're like, oh, wait, you want more of what I'm doing? Oh. You know what I mean? So, good and the bad, I guess. For 12 years. Yeah. I mean, it's hard too, right? Once you hit that, once you're just like, oh man, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get out of that. So, more Solid Grass on Clit Studio. Episode 6, so it won't be as long. That's cool. Yes, I do have a target goal I'm working to. Yeah. So you have the ending in mind. That's good. I mean, see, by saying it's like, oh, well, that's good. It's like, it doesn't have to be good. You know what I mean? To have an ending in mind. I have arcs in mind, right? Where I'm like, okay, this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, but I don't necessarily have an end in sight. Right? Like, I'm not going, oh yeah, no, this is how this story ends. I don't know. Like, this is probably the one where I'm like, I have the ability to have an open story for a long time. Develop the world, allow for separate stories to happen that might not affect the main story, which I think would be cool. It's like, oh, this character needs an arc. Okay. Sword, Control A, C, B. Needs to be out in front. Maybe not that big. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Oh. Alright, here we go. Come in, build up the line weight. Maybe we'll hold that big sword. Save. Alright, so we got the sword taken care of, so we can merge that down. Okay, start a new layer. So many layers. I'm keeping these all separate. Like, I'm keeping all these layers solely for the idea that I'm going to use it for TikTok, because I think that's where all my art is going to go, is in TikTok. Make some videos, you know. What color? I don't know. Oh, symmetry tool. Thank you. You're perfect. Thank you. Exclusively on TikTok? Well, just no. It's just that, like, the videos that I want to do, right? Because YouTube didn't care. You know what I mean? It's like YouTube didn't really care about showing it, and I get a lot more attention on TikTok with art videos. So, you know, just process stuff and things like that. Like, I haven't said a word about any of this, but it's just like, here's my art, and they're like, oh, okay, and I get a lot more views and just eyes on the product. So I think that's what's gonna happen. You know, it's like I wanna put it there mostly to get eyes on the product. So be showing off a lot more, you know, just things that'll catch their attention, which is going to be, you know, all the fan art stuff, mostly things that I've already done. But then I'm going to constantly throw in these videos that I have for the content that I'm currently making. So that way people are like, ooh, what's that? What's that? And I'll be like, oh, well, that's this. This is what this is going to be. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, cool. So that's the plan. Gotta get people to look at the product, you know? And the more, like I said, the more eyes I can get, I'm gonna be promoting a lot more. You know, just if I want to try and get, if I want to be some of the force that gets ninjas back. I mean, like, I keep seeing a lot of ninja stuff, you know, that kind of pops up, but still, you know, I want to try and get it back into that realm. And in 2022, I'm going to actually be trying to get a hold of some of the people who played ninjas and stuff, right? I know that the one guy who played, you know, the mustache, the blonde mustache ninja, like, he's still alive, but I heard that things weren't as peachy, and I feel bad about talking to him and, you know, ripping up old wounds, especially since, like, look, you know, you became an icon with this, you know, or at least in our little bubble. So, but I would love to get to talk to him. Johnny Young Bosch? I think that's who I'm talking about. No, not him. Not the Power Ranger. Ernie Race. Yeah. What is he? I don't know who. Oh, do you mean Ernie Reyes Jr.? The kid who played with the Ninja Turtles? The guy who kicked the Rock's butt up and down, you know, in the jungle? Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr. But see, the thing is that he might be interesting to talk about being in the Ninja Turtles, but he really wasn't. Which one was he in? He did play a Grandmaster in the RZA's Man with the Iron Fist. He was one of the bad guys there. So, I mean, he might be interesting. Especially since he played Donatello, one of the Ninja Turtles, you know, so. But I'm going with people who they deliberately made a ninja movie, you know? Like, I would love to talk to Sho Kosugi, you know, just, you know, and I'm going to approach it a little bit differently because I contacted them before, like his group, and I contacted them before and I was like, hey, you know, I'm doing this thing called Ninja Empire and I would love to get an interview if that's a thing. And he was releasing a book and it was like, oh, he doesn't want to do any interviews unless it's for his book. I'm like, all right, that's cool. You know, I wasn't taking too hard, but I'm gonna approach it as a teacher. Be like, look, I'm working on this product, but I'm trying to do an educational thing to talk about how it was, you know, there was something so huge about ninjas in the 80s, in the late 70s, early 80s, and stuff like that, and then they just kind of, you know, like true ninja fashion, just disappeared in cinema, right? Not in anime or stuff like that, but just in movies. They're just like gone. But in those times, in the late 70s and early 80s, or just all 80s, you know, if you had a team, there was a ninja, right? And there are always ninjas everywhere. And so I would love to talk to him about, you know, about that. And he was in the movie Ninja Assassin, which was amazing. And see what his thoughts were about that, and, you know, did he think that ninjas were gonna make a comeback into cinema after that? You know, and then what's killing me per se is how you see like all these shows, you know, like G.I. Joe, right? And you're like, all right, so who are the most noticeable and you know, who are the most noticeable G.I. Joes, or from that G.I. Joe franchise? And they'll be like, oh, well, it's Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And you're like, okay, ninjas, right? You look at Mortal Kombat, right? Once again, who are the most memorable or notable? Scorpion and Sub-Zero, ninjas, right? But then it's like, why is this not more prevalent? If our culture is currently going, this is awesome, we love the idea of ninjas, that's why they're always the biggest sell, why are we not pushing it more anymore? Right? And then I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be like, they're simply lying in wait for the next chance to strike. Exactly. But then I'm pretty sure someone's like, oh, well, you know, cultural appropriation and insensitive and stuff like that. It's like, okay, you know, you're doing a big thing. That's cool. You should get some people involved. You know, it's like, don't be dumb about it. Get some people involved who know about that, who know about the culture and all that kind of good stuff. Like, you just do the due diligence. Like, don't be stupid. So, I don't know. But I would love to talk to him. Like, that would be my big thing. It's like, oh, I want to talk. Except for Naruto. But like I said, excluding anime, you know? Because anime has brought, you know, they're just like, hey, we love ninjas, you know, there's Naruto and there's a couple others, but in the end, it's just like, oops. That. There. Minus 30 minutes. Anime and video games have ninjas still. They do. Right? They do. And it's just like, okay, well, that's great, but I don't know. It seems like something's missing. Right? If that makes sense. It just seems as though there's not really that focus anymore. Right, like they have them, but they all almost seem like sidekicks. That might be actually interesting to watch. I have to watch that. What happened to Ninja Films? I'll watch that. Interested to hear what that person has to say. So then the blade. Alright, so then that's kind of what's happening here. Alright, so if we no, stop it. Because then that would be going in. Which it wouldn't do. So in other words, we to come here. Alright, so we would then erase this and this. And then this would come up like so, and then this would come down. Even though we don't need this anymore. Because that's the back of the blade. Okay. I'm wondering how much of the demise had to do with the idea that they could never truly be seen in the Western setting, anything produced by the Western audience, made for white people in America. I can see that. I can see that. I mean, and they kept trying. You know, they're like, here's the American Ninja, but you know. That always bothered me too. I'm like, wait a minute. This is something that they've been training for their whole lives, kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it's like, here's this, white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy who either stumbles in or has just been with them for, they're like, oh, you've been with us for so many years now, and blah. I'm like, wait a minute, but you guys wouldn't have accepted this person, not into that. That kind of white saviorism type thing where it's just like, haha, we're the best at everything we do. Right? And it's like, oh. So, I mean, I can definitely see also how, they would always be considered bad guys. But they keep, like I said, they keep trying. Do keep trying. But it's always, once again, like, so if you've watched Ninja, the one with Scott Adkins, right? You're like, all right, okay, sure, why not? But it's still, it's this misplaced white guy. I was like, well, when you were orphaned as right? And then all of a sudden he's the best thing. You're like, all right, come on now. But, I would love to see just a resurgence. I really thought it was coming when Ninja Assassin happened. I really did. I was like, oh, this is it. This is where it we begin. We have, it's like we have an Asian character and protagonist. We've introduced non-Asian people, and it makes sense as to why they're there. Even in the modern society, which I thought was cool because they're just like, come on now, ninjas, really? And then they're just like, oh, they've always been there, secret society. It was really cool. Like, I liked Ninja Assassin. I like their take on the modern, what it would be if you were in a modern setting. Poop. Okay. If they were in a modern setting, not this is a mystical world somewhere else that does not exist in ours. And yet they took it, and it was just like, this is, I believe this, So, Miss Ebony over there getting that YouTube watch hours up. Love it. Yeah. Hid behind the idea of the ninja if it's so vaguely defined. I don't know. I think that's what makes it interesting, you know? There's a mystery, and that's kind of their whole thing, right? There's a mystery behind it. And I think at this point, it's just, hey, you kind of, you know, like ninja, the idea of ninja, like you get it, right? It's there. But I think the thing that would be interesting would be to just keep it a mystery and just, that's it, you know? Oops. Because I think if you start trying to tell, like here is what ninja is and that kind of stuff, it might not go as awesomely as it could, if that makes sense. Because that's when you know you really got to get consultants in and stuff like that. And as we all know, movie studios don't want to do that. So that's where it would become tricky. But if you're just going, this is a Hollywood ninja, right? I think that would still be okay. Hollywood ninja. Because I mean, the thing is, like, I like the fantasy ninjas, you know, like what the lore of ninja is supposed to be. You're right, like people are like, oh, they could fly and spit fire and they can do all this stuff. And you know, and so it's like, so the jazz. So I like I said, I like the fantasy aspect of it, and that's, as we all know, or anyone who has, you know, looked up and, you know, the idea of ninja knows that those were all, you know, rumors perpetuated by things that people have seen or thought they saw, like, oh, they were just able to disappear. And it's like, well, you know, especially now with like illusionists and stuff like that, we know that they had certain tricks that they were doing and stuff like that that would fool you, or, you know, they did have like a flint and fire, and it would like poof, there's fire, and they're like, oh my goodness, they could do fire. Or they walked on water. It's like, yes, but what you didn't see was they had like floatable boot shoes, right? So they weren't really walking, they were shimmying around on the water and stuff like that, you know. So there's a lot of things in there that you're just like, oh okay, that makes sense. But I like the idea of being, hey, there's someone who can control fire, right? And they're a ninja. They come from a clan that controls fire and stuff like that, you know. I think that's really fun because it's very fake, right? And so when you have something like that, you can be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's have fun with the idea of this. And I think that you can offend less people when you're just like, well, no, we were not talking about Titore Hanzo. You know, it's like, that's not who this is about, or that's not this character, that's not the portrayal. This is a dude who, you know what I mean? It's like, I created this character. No, it's not based on any of your historical characters, you know, historical figures and stuff like that, but I don't know. I like that. Alright, so anyway, so the Jazza box came in. Like, it wasn't very overwhelming. I actually saw there was someone who did a review, and I haven't watched the review. Like I didn't watch the review, but they were all like, their thumbnail was like, I bought it, never again. And it's like, wait, what? Why not? So I should watch the review, because they didn't seem very happy with their box either. Okay. I merged something I wasn't supposed to. That's what I want. Right there. First, we're going to fix this line again. Really upset that I can actually see. It's like just a little indent and it's driving me crazy. Alright, anyway. A, Control C, Control V. We have another one because that was the plan the whole time. Alright, so I'm going to push this just a little bit further down. Okay. Erase. There, we come to this one, erase that, come to this one, erase this. Careful. Go. This. Bam. Alright, so that's something. That's done. Ooh. Ooh, that was cold. Like, that didn't even try anymore. Like, Okay. They must have removed the video. What? What? Oh, that one? Maybe, because the way that they had it framed was like they just went after it. It was like, blah. I was like, let's see if it'll pop back up for me. Okay, so I don't know. Like I said, it says not again. $100 art box by Jazza. I can't believe this. I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know if, like I said, I have not watched it, so I don't know if they're just going. If it was just a real nice, like, you know, clickbait or anything like that, but. Here you go. This is the one that I saw. Did you ever watch the movie The Warrior's Way? I did not. I have not watched The Warrior's Way. I guess the question then stems, should I? In the Wild West? Okay. Warrior's Way. Oh, okay. So it was clickbait. Right. But a lot of people are doing that kind of clickbait. They're like, it's like, is this one was like cash or trash? And it's like, wow. I mean, I guess. It's some harsh words. But. So, how are the markers though? Are they any good? So I mean, I've had some spectrums, like markers, and they're alright. It's not something that I would be like, oh my goodness, these markers are the best. Like that's not something I would do, but like I said, they're alright. Okay, hard to open now. See, I'm like, they're alright. Not the best marker that I've had the pleasure of using, but also not the worst. Cause I've had some doozies. Really? I did not know that. Huh. Now I know that Jazza was able to get these, you know, like all that stuff under $100, but especially when he's like, oh, this package would be $200. But how expensive are the markers? See? That is the only thing, like, the open stock, being able to buy the marker that you actually need, I think is very important. And that's the only, you know, like, that is what I'm in search for. A very budget conscious marker that I can go off and buy the marker that I need. Right? If I need that cool gray, I can buy the cool gray without having to go, I need to buy the entire thing. Which is still crappy because I gotta do that so many times with different things, and it's just like, I don't want to. You know what I mean? It's like I just want to buy this color because that's the one that ran out. I'm like, nope, that's not what you get. Must buy entire box. But, you know, what are you gonna do? What are we really going to do? You know what I mean? We're at the mercy. You either pay $8 a marker, or, you know, you have to buy like 60 markers at once. I like markers. And man, some people, like some people are deadly with those things. I'm like, how are you doing that? Like, I watched one TikTok today, and they're using markers, and then you know, they're like kind of scribbling it on really fast. And I'm like, ew, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then, you know, they start showing more of what their art is, and I'm like, oh, that scribble was because you were trying to, you know, film a video. It wasn't really, that's not how you work. And then you see the final piece, and it's almost like, it's almost, you know, photorealistic, the markers. I'm like, now see, you didn't do that with that, you know, scribbling that marker like that, like an untrained person. You're just like, I was like, that was definitely for the video. Marker Universe bought the graph. 250. That's the no. 250. I'm getting a lot of markers. And I heard the graph Bs are supposed to be pretty decent, but sorry, I don't do enough work, and I think that might be one of the things. Like, I don't do enough work with my markers to be like, I need to have these expensive markers, because I mean, you guys, if you look at my Instagram, you'll see the stuff that I was able to put out with the Adaxi markers, right? They're alright. You know what I mean? Like, they work just fine. I'm starting to realize where some of the benefit of having a better marker comes in, right? Because that nib, granted, they're not refillable, so it doesn't really matter, but that nib, it dies. Like, it starts losing its shape a lot. You know, they start losing their shape way before the ink runs out. And so I've come to a spot where it's like, hey, I'm working with something and I need to get in to a small area or something like that, you know, and can't because it's too flat now because I've used it a couple times. And that hurts, you know, because I'm like, these are not half bad, but this isn't working, right? But it's not something that, like I said, when you're thinking about the price and you're like, I paid $20 for 60 markers, and then you go somewhere else and you're like, I paid, you know, $110 for 60 markers. Come on, you know what I mean? Why I like Ohuhu, and I really wish that they would do individuals. Make sure that the marker does not turn drawings yellow. Oh. I haven't had that happen yet. Is that what people are saying? Their markers turn stuff yellow? I haven't had that problem. I have not had that one. Time's up. Dang. Time's up. I think I'm gonna have to do a longer stream sometime with the kids, because we're getting into it. Alright, got my inking was going fairly well. Almost got this whole thing, you know, this big dude inked up. Alright, just gotta throw on the foot and the detail, one hand. I mean, there's a lot going on here, but so close. I'm just gonna take this, throw that there. Bamskis. Erase that. Erase that. Pencils down, step away from your workstation. Alright, I saved. Done. Let's zoom out. Oh, I lied. Gotta fix that. Because I'll forget about it. Don't want. There we go. Okay, I'm done. Okay. There we go. Save. Done. Bam, bam. Okay, so there we go. Oh. I'm not, you know, don't feel bad. All right. Well, we'll definitely see you on hopefully tomorrow. I know I will be back tomorrow, because I do want to finish. I want to finish this guy, and we've only got 3 days left in 2021, so I want to. I don't know. I'm not gonna start drawing on the comics until the new year. Like, that's my plan. The new year we're gonna start drawing on the pages. But until then, we continue working on this guy and his controller, and then we'll see where we go from there. But thank you guys so very, very much for hanging out with me. It's been awesome today. It was great. I was really worried that people just were not going to show up because it was after Christmas. But thank you guys for showing up. It was awesome to talk to you guys again. And I will see you guys later. And as we continue to move forward to 2022, you need to remember that born a ninja, die a ninja. All right. I will see you guys hopefully on Monday.
The Ninja Empire is supreme, dominant, and unstoppable. Our ninja spirit is fueled by fire and driven by razor-sharp determination. When we take on a mission, we must succeed or die. Our style is unique and deadly, and no one wants to suffer the wrath of the Ninja Empire.